Howdy, I'm Big Earl from Northern Sonic Solutions, and this is the Northern Board. The Northern Board was designed to have a wide variety of pedal shapes and sizes attached to it. From the Japanese Standard to the modern Micro, from the oversized Dual to the how did they cram all that stuff in there, from the laughably oversized to the what were they thinking. Another aspect of the Northern Board design deals with cable management. Most Velcro-based systems just have your cables flopping all over the place, or oversized cutouts where the cables flop around anyways. The Northern Board's lattice design allows you to run most cables through the openings, allowing for a cleaner look. Or you can simply tuck the cables into the lattice design, where often friction is enough to hold them firm. The Northern Board is also designed to allow many power supplies to be mounted directly to it, such as these great Moski power supplies we also sell. There are a series of holes on the top of the Northern Board which can be used to mount the power supply, either by themselves or in conjunction with the lattice design. The riser feet not only tilt the board back, but allows for clearance and air circulation for the supply. This allows you to free up even more space on your board. There's even enough room that, if necessary, you can mount slimline power strips to the back of the Northern Board itself, which is real handy when you have lots of pedals that won't work with standard power supplies, like I do. Another advantage of the lattice design is that multiple cables can be routed through the same opening. Here, I have a pedal cable, a power cable, and a zip tie, all going through the same hole. Zip tie based systems may take a little longer to mount up than Velcro systems, but it's totally worth it in the end. Before you mount your pedals, decide on your signal path. Mount your cables to the pedals, as you'll need to make some decisions on spacing based on the thickness of your plugs. You'll usually want to start with the power supply, which mounts on the middle top of the board. I'm using the Moski Power Station, a 10-out system, which I'm mounting between the holes and the lattice. Next, we move to the upper left-hand corner, which is where most folks place their tuner. Decide where the cable coming out of the pedal is going to be routed, either through the board or on top. Then, take a zip tie and loosely mount the tuner. Don't tighten it all the way, as you will want some wiggle room for adjustments on the chain. One of the great features of zip ties is that you can use two together to mount longer or taller pedals. And in my experience, budget ties work just as well for this job as expensive ones. So if you need more zip ties, head over to your local dollar store to pick some up. Once your effects are attached to the board, mount the power cables and fire it up to ensure everything is solidly connected and the effects are working. If not, check your cables to ensure they are securely attached to the pedals and that the power cables are also attached. This is where that wiggle room comes in, and it can save a great deal of frustration if you accidentally wire something in backwards. Once you're satisfied with the layout, it's time to tighten the zip ties. I recommend using a pair of pliers, as it will give you more leverage. Just remember not to over-tighten, as you may mark your pedals if that's a concern to you. Once everything is tightened, you can trim off the excess from the ties. For this job, use sharp wire cutters. They do a much better job than a knife or scissors. Again, this set I'm using came from a dollar store. You don't need any fancy tools to complete this job. Once everything is tightened and trimmed, plug in and go. When you're done playing, the Northern Board can be sorted in any direction, even on its side or upside down. Try that with Velcro. Let's say that you want to change out a pedal. Carefully cut the zip tie, making sure not to nick any cables. Swap out the pedal, do your cable management, grab a new zip tie, and tighten it up. And that pedal you just took off? No Velcro on the back to try to remove. The Northern Board was designed to be a functional and very versatile system to allow players to organize their pedals. And at a decent price, you can use your money for more important things, like buying more of them. Maybe even enough to set up a second board. Northern Sonic Solutions. Jam Econo.